Guys, we're going to be making this delicious lasagna today with ground beef, onion, zucchini, and mushroom. Let's go. Hi. Today, we're going to be making some lasagna. I got some lasagna noodles here. Let's get started with Jay every day. Don't forget to subscribe. I have some water boiling here for the noodles in a huge pot. That is a huge pot for noodles. The noodles will definitely fit in there. See, because new lasagna noodles, these are very long. So when that water boils, we'll have no problem putting the noodles in. You want to wait until the water is at a constant boil. So while we're waiting on that, let's get started with our ground meat. I have some oil, a little oil heated up here in the pan. To that, I'm going to add ground beef. This is ground beef lasagna. You can use ground turkey, ground chicken, ground pork, whatever you prefer. I have a rubber spatula here to mix around, to dice up the meat, because I'm using a non-stick skillet. So I want to make sure I'm not using anything that will scrape my pan. So I'm just using a rubber spatula. And you want to just go ahead, go in at it, and mince the meat around. The first thing I'm going to add to my meat as it's starting to cook, some Creole seasoning. Not too much. I don't want this. This does not have, lasagna does not need to be very salty, because we're using pasta sauce and cheese. Cheese has a lot of salt in it also. Then just mix around the ground meat. For our lasagna add-ins today, I have some zucchini and mushroom already that's going to go and be mixed up with our lasagna. Also to it, I'm going to add green peppers and onions. And we also have our pasta sauces here, garlic and herb pasta sauce. And I even like to add a can of diced tomatoes. The onions and green peppers are cooking well with our meat for the lasagna. Into this now, I'm going to add in my green pepper and mushroom. I like to let mine get a little cooked with the meat, because zucchini and mushrooms need to wilt a little. So this is the perfect time because the meat is not all the way done. I'm not going to add any salt because there's salt from the meat already. The pasta water is boiling, so now I'm going to add the noodles. Before I add the noodles, I have some pink Himalayan salt, which is low in sodium. that I'm going to add to the water first. You want to add some salt to the boiling water first. Now that the water has the salt added, we're going to add in the lasagna noodles. I'm making a nice size pan, so most of the lasagna noodles in the box I use. Lasagna noodles are not expensive, guys, so go ahead and use them. There's no point in trying to save. They're only like a few bucks. Okay, and our noodles are in there, and we're going to let those boil. While those boiling, let's go back to the meat and veggies. Go ahead and mix everything around. And to get them to wilt, the meat to wilt even faster, I'm going to add the top. And just cover it. That's going to help the veggies to wilt down even faster with our ground meat. Okay, our veggies have wilt down very, very nicely, nice and al dente. I'm going to add some fresh parsley to the mixture. I'm just gonna, these are kitchen shears, not scissors. I'm just cutting up some fresh parsley over the lasagna mixture. There we go. And I'm just going to mix around the fresh herbs with our mushrooms. Look at those mushrooms. I love mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, don't add them to your lasagna. It's whatever veggies that you want to add to the meat mixture. And just stir it around. And I usually love to add red pepper flakes for spice, but I don't have any at the moment, so I'm going to substitute with cayenne pepper for spice. If you don't like any spice in your food, then don't use any pepper at all. But just for spice to my lasagna, I'm adding pepper, cayenne pepper, but I would prefer red pepper flakes, but I'm out of that at the moment. So we're gonna do what's called substitute, y'all, and turn it and mix everything around. Get everything all mixed up. Look at those herbs and look at those veggies, zucchini and the mushroom. Okay, our noodles here are nice. You just want them nice and al dente, because remember the lasagna is going to bake in the oven. So let's go ahead and turn that oven off. Get that off. You can see here the noodles are nice and ready. I'm gently touching them with the fork because you don't want to tear up lasagna noodles because they have to lay. So very gently. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our lasagna started. The first thing I like to do when I'm layering my lasagna is first thing we know we need is our nice baking dish. Okay, I have here a baking dish, a casserole baking dish for the lasagna. First thing I like to do is add pasta sauce. Just some garlic and herb sauce. I'm sorry. First things first is canola oil. Let's spray first, so we don't want nothing to stick. Spray the bottom of that pan with some nonstick spray. Then, right over the nonstick spray, I then add a little bit of pasta sauce. Just drizzle a small amount of pasta sauce to the bottom of the pan. I have here some tongs and another spatula. This is a different one, not that one I cooked the meat with, to take out the pasta. I'm gonna go in. I just grab one of the noodles out. I use the tongue to help me and shake a noodle. Shake it. Then I take the noodle and just lay it out in the pan. Best you can. Be gentle with them, especially at the bottom layer. Now I'm going to go in and get another pasta noodle. And it might slip. Just take your time. Lasagna noodles are slippery. Sometimes I even use my fingers just a little to move stuff around. Go in the pan, get another noodle. Shake, shake, shake. Let that excess water drain off, guys. Then add it to the pan. Make sure it kind of lays flat out. Okay, that's our first layer of noodles there at the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to add pasta sauce. And I just drizzle a little. However you like to get it out your jar, it's up to you. I just take the jar and drizzle some. That's how I do it. Then I take my spatula and I gently spread out the pasta sauce. Just spread it out all over the noodles. Now I'm going to add in some of the ground meat. The ground meat mixture is all done. Okay, you can see my spoon has holes in it. Make sure you have a spoon with holes because you don't want to pick up all of this excess. And matter of fact, what you can do, I'm going to take the colander first and drain off the oil first for the meat mixture. That'll make it even easier before we get started. Just take your colander and your meat mixture to the sink, guys. And let the oil drain there. You usually don't even have to empty out all that meat mixture to get that oil. That's just fat from your meat. Get that off. You don't need that in your lasagna. Now. Okay, here we go. The meat mixture's all drained now. Look at that, guys. Gorgeous veggies, zucchini, green pepper, onions, fresh herbs. Take a scoop and drizzle it onto the pan. and spread it out. Spread it out. And that should be enough because we want to make a few layers. So that's enough for our first layer with our meat mixture here. Just pat it around. And to the top of that first layer, I'm going to add in some diced tomatoes from the can. Just sprinkle them around. This is just some diced tomatoes to mix in there for flavor and taste. Next, I'm going to go in, guys, with more pasta sauce. Just a little, too, because we put those diced tomatoes there. Don't need a lot of sauce. It'll be too saucy. Take the back of the spoon and spread around. Next to this layer, I add in a little bit of mozzarella cheese. This is just mozzarella. Sprinkle a light layer because most of our cheese we want it on top of a lasagna. You don't want a lot of cheese in the middle because the point is to put a lot to me on the top. So that's about enough for that layer. Now we're on to our next layer. We got spatula and tongue. Go ahead and let's grab slowly. Remember, pasta lasagna is very funny. Be very gentle with it. Make sure the water gets off. And gently layer on the pan. However you want, just flip them out. And I take my finger here because I'm not, and just gently pull because I want to make sure it covers the top. Then we're going to go in and get another. Start from the end of the pan, lay him out, and let it fall down. Like I said, it's easy for me to just take my finger, and you too. Just take your finger and pull it down. As long as your fingers are clean. We've been cooking. We know we have clean hands. At least we should. You always wash your hands before you cook. Now, that one failed because I was talking. Wash your hands all the time before you cook food. Everyone, I'm just saying. Then lay another pasta noodle out and flip it out. Then pull it down. Get another pasta noodle. One more, because we got a little more room on that side. You don't want to leave nobody peeking in lasagna. Everything should be covered. That one failed. We got it. Go ahead. I'm gonna have my finger and just pull it out. Remember, these are not done to be so soft that they'll break. So that's how I'm able to touch them with my finger, because this is going to bake more in the oven. Now what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead with our next layer. Just go ahead with our meat mixture and put it on and to the top. Okay, now I'm going to try to drain a little bit of oil was still left. It's pretty tricky because ground beef is oily, so I was able to get most of it off though. And go ahead. This is my top layer, so I might as well go ahead and use all this. This is going to be it for this pan. You can see this is shallow. If you want a deeper lasagna, I advise using a deeper pan than this. But this is not a very deep pan, so this is only 2 layers. But that's fine. I love lasagna. I can eat 2-layer lasagna. As long as it's lasagna, we're going to eat it. It's going to still be good. Okay, go ahead and pat out your meat mixture. Now you're gonna add to the top of mine some more of those diced, just a can of diced tomato. You can even use fresh if you like. That's up to you, but I just do the can. It's good enough. And now go ahead in with more of that pasta sauce. This time we need a nice bit of sauce because that was the bottom of the can of the tomato, so there was hardly any sauce there. And go ahead with your spoon, back with spoon, just spread it around. And I have another can of sauce because that wasn't enough. Okay, let's add some more. You want it to be nice and saucy. I like mine like that. If you don't, then that's you. But we need sauce. This is lasagna. That's a part of the point. Italians have sauce on their pastas. So this is an Italian food with pasta sauce, and you want to spread it out. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to add to this layer, I'm not going to put the cheese on this layer because we are very close to my top where I'm going to add a lot of mozzarella. So I'm just going to go ahead with my top layer and just cover again with the pasta. Let's get her done. Go ahead and move it to the corner of the pan because you remember we don't want anybody peeking out. Everybody got to be hiding under the lasagna noodles. Okay, the water, shake the water off. Add another layer. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, then lay out another layer. Make sure you push, like I said, push them to the edge because that's enough noodles. With this pan, it's four noodles, four full noodles to cover. But I don't know, depends on your pan size. This is just a basic lasagna pan. And now for the last thing, I just take the cheese. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I do the cheese on the top, I add sauce. I just lay some sauce and cover the top with more sauce so it's nice and saucy. And this gets rid of the can. Because this takes two whole jars of spaghetti pasta sauce. And so just go ahead and spread it out with the back of the spoon. And now add the rest of your I'm using mozzarella cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like, any type of Italian cheeses that you choose, provolone, Parmesan, whatever you choose to add. You can even go ahead and just use some basic cheddar. But I love mozzarella for stuff like this, so this one is just some mozzarella on the top. Okay, let's see. That's all the cheese there for our top. Make sure if you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And I just go ahead, add it in uncovered. Lasagnas can cook uncovered for about 30 minutes till everything bakes together and your cheese gets nice and brown. Okay, our beautiful lasagna is all done. OMG, I'm about ready to dive in. All I need now is a salad on the side, or if you want, you can maybe add veggies, whatever you like, and some garlic bread. That lasagna, it is ready. See how you had to wait for 30 minutes? The cheese nice and brown, and you can see on the side that the lasagna noodles also get a little toasty. And that's it. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.